Good morning, Eddy County. Man, I was watching a video this morning of Jerome Davis in Arizona, and he just kind of reminded me of something that I wanted to make a video about a long time ago. And I've talked about it before. I've talked about this particular subject on my videos before when I was explaining what Biffle v. Morton is. You know, you turn over a document to the clerk. The clerk has to accept it. And you can look that up under Title 18, 2076, 2071, and 2051 under Title 18, USC 2076. I think that's the best description. I think it is. I haven't looked at it in a long time. It just comes to mind. Anyway, I was watching Jerome Davis, and he was talking about how we have to get together and know who we're going to vote for, and we need to watch out because the devil is at work. Boy, you go anywhere. The devil is at work. You can open your front door probably and just, the devil is at work. Anyway, that subject that I was talking about when I was talking about rules and regulations and ordinances and mandates and codes and memorandums and referendums and none of that. None of that. All of that crap is zero. I'm going to tell you why. All right. All of that garbage, their rules, no. Nothing supersedes this. Nothing. Not even what the legislature makes. If you've never read the preemption doctrine, take my word for it. The supremacy clause cannot be penetrated. It just can't. But they fooled you into doing it because people are buying permits to do this and getting somebody's permission that don't know jack crap. All right? Being on somebody's property, you gotta have probable cause of this. See, chapter 30, you got to have probable cause out of this. All right? This means nothing to a pro se litigant because of chapter 21. The chapter that's missing in the big Bible that they think is it's garbage. It's a nullity. A nullity is something that is being used but is incomplete. All right. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This one jumps from 19 to 20. You can see that right there. 19 to 20. All right. And then it jumps from 20 to 22. Okay. And if you'll take the time to Google chapter 21 of the Codes of Judicial Conduct, codes that don't apply to me and you. This garbage right here doesn't even apply to me and you. Nobody can walk up to us, the free person, and say, hey, you violated this. You violated something in here. All right? Nobody can do that to us. I'm sitting in my living room. I dare somebody to try. Come on with it. All right? Because this is a nullity. They created their own nullity. They combined criminal, and they called it traffic, but it's civil. It's not traffic. It's not a law. This is not law. By no means. This is not law. It's a privilege. It was a privilege for them to be able to go out there and direct, but they have to have probable cause, exigent circumstances, or consent to make contact. And I even consider eye contact one of those things, you know, for somebody to be doing that kind of crap. Don't make contact with me. I will accuse you of violating Title 18, 241. Take my word for it. You know, I have a Article 2, Section 3 right. I have the sole and exclusive. Sole by myself, exclusive away from everybody else to govern myself. I don't need somebody that can't even wipe their ass yet to tell me what the fuck to do. Ever. Ever. Under no circumstances should you tolerate that crap. Ever. From anybody, not even a judge. That's what chapter 21 is about. They don't want you to know that because you can use it against them for abusing their power, officially misconducting themselves. How many times do you think a judge has violated a pro se litigant's standards of review with intimidation, coercion, and threat? How many times do you think that's a crime? You know, those crimes right there vitiate everything that came before it, even the judge's authority. I mean, read the 5 canons in chapter 21. Just read the 5 chapters in chapter 21. It's easy. You know, every clerk in America needs to treat you like you're their boss because you are. Title 18, 2051 applies to clerks. 2076 applies to clerks only. 2071 applies to clerks only. It doesn't apply to me and you. Rules do not apply to you and I. And somebody trying to enforce them on you, is my whole point. Somebody trying to enforce their will on you when they don't know crap about this. I've read this multiple times. The Constitution, I've read it multiple times. You ought to check it out. I've read it so much. I've got 2 of them that are all covered in writing because I've been comparing them to other states' constitutions when I read those. And then I read some criminal codes, but there's only specific criminal codes that I look for. I only look for abuse of power, official misconduct, violation of rights, the supremacy clause, the preemption doctrine. The preemption doctrine is a crime. If it's a crime in one place, it's a crime everywhere. The whole country is a corporation. Don't even get the idea that it's not a business. The orange man up there is conducting his business like this is a giant Walmart. And New York is the porta potties the construction crew is using outside right now. That's what it's turned into. In California, those are the bathrooms that the employees use in the back that never hardly ever get cleaned. That's what California is. And this is just one big old store. Department managers everywhere. Governors. You know. Assistant managers for every department. Mayors. They're just employees. People are trying to treat them like they're something that they're not. And it's just, they violate all of these laws. And I'm telling you, they violate all of these, including the judges. I'll give you an example. Eileen Reardon. She's nothing but a rubber stamp. She is a, what did that one reporter call her? Called them rogue activist judges. That's what it was. Eileen Reardon, Schuler, Gray are nothing but rogue activist judges. Most of our judges are Democrats running on a Republican plate. That's everywhere. That's why I'm an independent. I see the lying, cheating, and stealing. I went down there and I made a video about that. You know, you can go back and look at it, Eddy County. I'm just saying, you know, that I'm just kind of sick and tired of them. They got this big tyrant force that they use against we the people when they have zero authority to do that. Zero authority to. They work for you. You're going to let your employee come and stick his foot in your ass? They don't let me do it. I tried it a couple of times because I was working for idiots. And you know, idiots create problems. You know, I'm a problem solver, not a problem creator. The problem has already been created. It was thrown in our face, And some of us had the knowledge to, even if it was just a little bit in the beginning, had the knowledge to go over there and say, hey, y'all are violating these laws. And guess what happened? A rubber stamp came in and stamped it. Not only that, that rubber stamp called Nancy Long in Santa Fe and had her do some forum shopping to get all of these judges that's names are in my house. It just kind of ticks me off, why do I have United States Supreme Court rules in my house? Rules don't apply to me. Biffle V. Morton came from the same place. These rules are for bar members. These are not for the free man. I didn't go to law school. I went to ASE school. I went to the school of hard knocks. I picked up the damn book that they tried to use on me, and then they left out all the stuff that belongs to them. I had to go, wow, look, chapter 21's missing. Let's go to my AI and ask my AI and see if I can trap him in another little conversation with my AI, and I did that. And I have screenshots of that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. I want one of them, honey. Oh, thank you. Anyway, I have screenshots where, oh, you are correct, and I was just using some of these books, but I have a lot of other how do I put it, information that I had to print out after I screenshotted it, went to the library, I shot it over with my phone. I Bluetoothed it over with my phone, all the information. I had to print it out, and that's why I have it like that. That's some of them, I had to screenshot, and it came out kind of ugly, but I don't care. I can read it. I can zoom in on every word and then move every word over one at a time if I had to. I don't care. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of reading. Look, if you only saw the biggest part of it. One of these I have a lot of respect for. The other one I have no respect for. It doesn't apply to me. Chapter 30, I have respect for. It has murder in there. It has violations of rights under chapter 30:13. It's violation of rights. I went through that the other day when I made a video the other day. If there is a law that protects a right, it protects all rights. It can't just protect one right. Okay? Don't ever forget that. And any judge that tries to tell you different is violating his own codes of judicial conduct. I'm just saying, if he's going to break the law, then, he had no business sitting on the bench. And I ain't afraid to call him out, charge me with something. I'll be more than happy to put it on the record, appeal it, and since I haven't had a job in 2 years, and I depleted my savings like about 8 months ago. Well, it is what it is, man, I'm just kind of hoping that some of these people are hearing me and sharing this information, because I'm not trying to save somebody. I'm not trying to save somebody that is not willing to do the same thing I'm doing. If I caught somebody violating somebody's rights, I would go off. I would go off, and I've seen it. I was a witness of it at a city council meeting. I was witness of it on November the 5th at the county commission meeting, when Ernie Carlson told one of his subordinates to go and target, intimidate, harass, and coerce a free citizen on his own property. I don't know if Ernie Carlson has ever read the Fourth Amendment, but when he did that, he violated Title 18, 241. He violated Title 42, 1986. And not only him, his subordinate that went out and did it violated 42, 1986. And as being servants of the community, he violated ethics codes. None of that crap applies to me. None of it applies to me. And I dare anybody to come and threaten me with that bullshit. See what happens. Threaten me with that bullshit. See what happens. I'll punch you in the mouth. Yeah, I will. On my property, I ain't even gonna put up with that bullshit. You better come up with a really nice attitude and say, "Hi, Mr. Garcia, how you doing? I just wanted to come over and chit chat." Okay? Chit chat. You want to go inside? You want to sit in the bus? You want to sit out here? Hey, why don't we just, turn on your camera and on your unit, and we'll just stand out here and we'll shoot the shit. And I know some deputies that are pretty cool, man. Deputies that will do that. They're not out fishing. They're not out targeting and profiling. Those deputies, no problem. You see a problem, deal with it. That's your responsibility. 42, 1986. Let me tell you, and if you don't, you're supposed to report yourself. You're supposed to report yourself and have a USC Title 18, 1951 C investigator. C like in C, ABC, C. Look it up. And that's just off the top of my head. All of this stuff you hear me say is off of the top of my head. I don't need this book. I'll go into a courtroom and just thrash on even judges. I don't care. I do not care. If you're not doing right, you have no business there. That's a big gist of it. When I was explaining those rules, this crap right here, go read Biffle v. Morton. All right? If a clerk refuses to take your lawsuit against the clerk himself, if you go and file a lawsuit against a clerk and you deliver that document to the clerk and that clerk does anything with that document, I don't care what that clerk does, besides handing a certified, stamped copy, timed and filed, and hands it back to you personally, that clerk violated USC Title 18, 2076, 2071, and 2051. Look it up. It's a crime. And when the clerk did that, she violated Title 18, 241. And if she had anybody conspire with her, she violated Title 18, 242. When they did all this under Title 42, 1986, they opened the door for a Title 42, 1983 civil lawsuit with a legal pincer. They can't get out of it until they get a black robe, rogue tyrant judge that can't even follow their own damn rules. We have them all up the 10th Circuit, all the way up. They call it overreach. It's not overreach. It's abuse of power and official misconduct and breach of oath. That's what it is. It's nothing else. I haven't seen any overreach. Find me overreaching here. Find me overreaching here or shut the hell up. That's what I'm talking about. And I say that to any lawyer officer of the court. You damn lawyers ain't worth a day. You're petty fags. You're petty fags, every damn one of you. Treasonous traitors, rat bastards. That's all it is. I don't care who you are. Man, when I started reading this, I started reading it for my own protection. I had no concerns of getting involved into the depthness of that I have gotten into, and God sent me here. God sent me here. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm doing this because of me, because I've been, for 40 years, I've been dealing with this kind of crap. More longer than that. 40 years I've been dealing with this kind of crap. Over 40 years I've been dealing with this kind of shit. And I always put somebody in their damn place. I don't care who it is. I've had them in front of my house. I had them in front of my house in Virginia. I had them standing out in the street. Must have been about 10 or 20 of them. I don't know. That was a lot. A lot of them standing out in their street. They wouldn't come on the property. I had already gave them the 3rd degree right out of these books. That's where I learned it. I don't like being targeted. I don't like being profiled. I don't like being intimidated, harassed, and coerced. I just don't like it. It's against the law. It's a crime. I don't do it to other people. Don't do it to me, especially if you're wearing a badge, buddy. Yeah, I'll take you and the judge down. That judge colluding with you like they were doing in Albuquerque with all the cops, highway patrols, county deputies, municipal police, what they were doing over there, that kind of crap. Really? And then you think it's not going on everywhere? You lost your damn mind. Share this, Eddy County. Everybody needs to see this kind of stuff. I'm going to keep doing it just like this. I don't care. Be mad. Suck it up. Do right.